Hi everyone, Kevin here from Golf Guy Reviews, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at this. It's the Golfbuddy AIM V10 GPS rangefinder. Now this is one of the smallest rangefinders available at the moment on the market and currently retails in the UK for around £120. So I've been using it for a few rounds now and I'm out here on the course at Worley Park. It's a beautiful day, so we're going to do a bit of an on-course review. So if you enjoyed the video today, make sure you hit that like button, and if you are thinking about buying the V10, then I've included links down in my description below to my Amazon associate account so you can pick them up and it's nice and easy to find. So let's take a look at the GPS. Right, so before we get onto some of the key features, I thought I'd run through a couple of the basics. First of all, it has over 40,000 courses on it, so you shouldn't have any problem whatsoever finding your course. I've got 2 courses over here at Worley Park and it's found both of them not a problem. It has up to 13 hours battery life in golf mode. I haven't managed to test it all the way to the end of its battery life, but I have used it for 2 rounds and it's still got plenty of battery on there, so that's absolutely fine. It comes with a few languages as well, French, German, Spanish, there's a few more as well I think you can download, and we'll come on to the languages in a bit as well because that's one of the party tricks of the AIM V10. Now, one of the key features of the AIM V10 is just its sheer size. It's tiny. I could probably accidentally swallow it. It really, really is small. So if you're looking for one of the smallest GPSs out on the market, this could definitely be one you want to take a look at. Now, being so small, it does come with its own downsizes. You know, the screen is quite small. It's a little over an inch in width, and you know, those numbers are quite small on there. But you know, if you are looking for a tiny, compact GPS, then you know, they've certainly hit the mark with this one. Now, in fact, just to show you how small that is, if I hold it here next to my Garmin Approach G30, which I thought was small to begin with, you can see how small this Golfbuddy AIM V10 really is. Now, of course, if you want to check out my full review on the Garmin G30, which is a great sat-nav in its own, then I will leave a link above there. Let's have a look at the comparisons of the numbers here. So the Garmin is saying it's 164 to the front, and the AIM Buddy is saying it's, let's have a look, 169. So only 5 yards difference. There's a bit of a difference there, but personally, for the standard of golfer I am, that ain't going to make too much of a difference. Now, if you're worried that the numbers are going to be too small on the unit, then actually the AIM V10 has a little party trick up its sleeve. You just push this button on the front.
Hole number 4, 176 yards to green center.
There you go, and it talks to you. 176 yards to green center. Now, for me personally, I don't really use the voice button on this. I've used it for about 5 or 6 rounds and I've never found the need to actually use it because I'm just so used to, you know, grabbing it. I normally keep this in my pocket. It's that small. I just kind of keep it in there, take it out, have a look at the numbers. Great, I've seen what I want. I don't need the voice to read it back to me. Also, if you are buying a a GPS for it to be the smallest one you can possibly get, you can't really moan if the numbers are too small. They've done their job. But, you know, Golfbuddy have given you the voice on there as well, so that in case they're a little bit small to read, then you know, you've got the added benefit of being able to hear the GPS tell you the range back to you. So you know, that's a nice to have, I suppose. Another advantage of having the voice as well is that you can clip this onto your hat or onto your belt, and you don't even need to look at it in order to get yardages. You can just press the button. There you go, 176 yards to green centre. Hopefully you can hear that. I could hear it absolutely fine out here. You know, there's no breeze whatsoever. It's a gorgeous day over here at Worley Park. I did use this on a very windy day before lockdown here in the UK when the weather wasn't so nice. And I did struggle to hear it a little bit when it was really, really windy. But you know, on a nice clear day, you can hear that, not a problem. You just press the button, it's nice and easy, and it will tell you yardages. Now, while I'm talking about the yardages, you can also see on the screen that it tells you to the middle of the green. That's your big number on the left. And then you've got 2 other numbers, so it tells you to the front and the back of the green as well. So you can know, you know, what you've got to carry to get there or how far you've got till you go off the back of the green. So again, really handy information to have, all there nice and simple on the front screen. Now, if you're enjoying this review video today on the course here at Worley Park, then don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date on all my latest reviews of golf shoes, clothing and tech right here on Golf Guy Reviews. This is a seriously long walk. Okay, so we've moved on to the next hole here. We are on the gorgeous par 4 5th hole, and I can tell it's a 5th hole here because it says it in the top corner of the screen there, and it's moved on automatically. Now, I've not had any problems over all the rounds that I've played with this in regards to the GPS moving on to the next hole, but if you do find yourself on the wrong hole, then what you can do is if you hold down either the plus or minus button on the side here, it will actually move it onto the next hole. So you hold down the minus button there and we're going to move it back onto the 5th hole. So that's nice and easy, to be fair. And as I mentioned before, it also tells you the yardages to the hazards, not only the hole. So I can see here that at the moment this is 365 yards to the middle of the green. But if I press the power button on the side, then you can actually see here that you've got a bunker on the left. That's what the L represents. And it's 237 to the front of the bunker and 251 to the back of the bunker. Now, I believe that the sat-nav only actually shows you 4 hazards on a hole. So if you've got hazards with loads and loads of bunkers, then you might come a little bit unstuck. You're just gonna have to try and avoid those bunkers, I'm afraid. But generally, you know, that's easy enough to read, and then you tap the button twice more to get back to the main screen. Now, this does bring me on to one point that I'm not overly keen on with the AIM V10, and that's because it is so small. You know, they've limited the number of buttons on there. That's fair enough, I get that. But it's just not the most intuitive GPS to use. I didn't know how to get to the hazards the first time I used it. Now, normally with a GPS, I'm pretty tech savvy. I can just, you know, work it out, pick it up and start using it. But I had to check on their website to actually find out how to get that information. So as I say, to get to the hazards, you have to press the power button once, and then you can scroll up and down. If you want to track how long your shot is, then again, you can do that on the GPS, but I didn't realize that right out of the box. To do that, you tap the power button again, and it gives you this little golf ball picture. Then what you need to do is you press the voice button, and it marks your position. Then you go and walk to your ball, and then when you get to your ball,
your shot is less than 5 yards from the mark.
So this is obviously predicting that I'm about to top it, which to be fair is quite clever because that's probably what's going to happen. But yeah, that's how you use it. And then to get back to the normal distances, you press the power button once more and it takes you back to the home screen. So as I said, there's a lot of functionality in this small unit, but it's just not quite as intuitive to use. For example, compare that to my Approach G30, because it's touchscreen, it's really, really easy to use. You know, that's why 3-year-olds can use iPads, not because they're super smart, but because they're so easy to use. So just a little point to note on there, you know, you might have to just familiarize yourself with the device before you can use all of the features. Right, so it's 364 yards according to the Golfbuddy to the middle of the green. It's a par 4, it's a glorious day. Let's mark my position.
Position marked.
Let's see how far we can whack a driver. That is right down the middle. Right, I've absolutely ripped that one down the middle of the fairway, so let's see how far that's gone according to the AIM-Buddy. While we're walking down to it, another thing just to say about the unit is that you can't keep track of your scores on it. Now, for £120, it is an entry-level unit, so it's not going to do everything, and this unit has got a focus on its size and the fact that it's got that voice feature on it as well. So I'm not going to mark it down for the fact that you can't score. A couple of other points just to point out. You can change the units on it, so you can change from yards to meters if that's what you prefer. And another element as well that I just wanted to highlight too, which I completely forgot, is that it does actually link with the Golfbuddy app. And so what you can do is you can connect it to your smartphone, and then you can cast your yardages onto your phone. So if you want a bigger screen to see your yardages on, you can do that. Now personally, I think if you're going to do that, why not just use your phone for a GPS? There's plenty of free apps out there that will do it for you anyway. So, you know, that's a feature to me that I don't quite understand, but it's there if you want it. Now, if you've not heard of Golfbuddy before, they've got a range of different golf measuring devices out there, and I've done reviews on the laser rangefinder that they've got, so you can click the link above and you can check that out. And they've also done a review of their watch, which was actually quite impressive. So again, if you're interested in getting a rangefinder or a GPS unit and you're not sure whether you want a watch or, you know, the smaller unit that they've got here, then I've done all the reviews, so you can check them out as well after this video. Still going, we're up to 250 yards, still going strong. Now while we're still walking down, just to note as well, the clip on the back is quite nice and strong actually, so it clips onto my pocket or my belt, or if you want to clip it onto your peak of your cap, it will hold on nice and tight. There's no kind of safety latch, so there's no carabiner that comes with it, so it could come loose, so make sure it's securely fastened onto whatever you're doing. And also they do come with a plastic strap as well, so if you want to make it into a watch, you can buy that as well as a separate accessory. I've got tiny little wrists. This would look ginormous as a watch on my wrist. Right, here we go. We've made it to my ball. Let's put my bag down. Let's see what we've got. And you can see here, there's my ball down there. And the unit says, I'm getting in the sunlight, 306 yards. Woo! Monster. Now, to be fair, that is on a fair old downslope, but I will take that all day long. Now that I'm at my ball, there's one other thing that I just wanted to point out that has bugged me a little bit. So it says here that I'm 61 yards to the middle of the green, and yeah, that feels about right. But as I press the hazard button, it says no hazards. Now there's quite clearly a pond in the front of this green that I've now got to get over. And so if I was playing a course that I didn't know, I'd be maybe a little bit concerned that it's not picking up all of the hazards that's on the course. I'm not entirely sure why that one's not on there, but it happened to me on the first tee as well. There's 2 bunkers in front of the green, and again, it said no hazards on there. So something to be wary of on that one, I think. This is an entry level unit, so I will let it off a little bit, but you've got to mark it down a little bit if it's not going to pick up the clear and obvious hazards that are on the course. That's kind of the point of having one of these units. Now the AIM V10 recharges via USB cable, so that's nice and easy, and the unit is water resistant, not waterproof, notice. So if it's in a heavy downpour, you might want to put it in your pocket or in your bag, because they're saying that it shouldn't necessarily be used with direct water, but if you're going to get caught out in a light shower or you're going to get splashed with it, that should be fine. But again, something important to note. One other little quirk of the unit as well is the fact that it's got a slope measurement on it. Now, I don't know how that works for a GPS. I guess they must be able to tell the elevation of the ground, but it's not available on all courses. But there's a little unit on there that says slope and you can turn it on. So again, handy if you want to use it, but personally, I don't think I'd bother using it on a GPS. So there you have it. That's my review of the Golfbuddy AIM V10 GPS rangefinder. For £120, it's a decent little unit that packs a lot of tech in for the price, but at that entry-level price range, it's not going to have all the features that you can get on GPS units these days. So, definitely things to consider. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you're thinking about buying the unit, then I've included a link down in my description below to where you can purchase it on Amazon. And if you have enjoyed the video, please make sure you give it a like and make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date on all my latest reviews of golf shoes, clothing and tech right here on Golf Guy Reviews.